Out of our podcast, what's going on? I'm here with
D. Smith. I'm your girl, your tax preparer, your bookkeeper, your business owner. Your future millionaire.
yes.
How about
indeed.
that?
I'm Chase back with another video. As y'all can tell, yes, no beard. Had to cut it down based off of our last podcast. We'll get into that though. But let's get into what do we admire about each other.
All right. I admire your. I don't know. You go first. It's pretty much the same. So, at this point, I don't know. Yeah, let's do it like this. I admire the fact that you are strong-willed. How about that? That word, strong-willed and determined on different adventures, or on how you can have no fear. How about being fearless? I admire that you're fearless. Yes, that's even better. And I say that because most people, and I guess the older parents and stuff, this is what we all know. Most people won't do things like you at your age because they didn't have the opportunity to do it. So being fearless of any opportunity that come your way, regardless if it's your investing, your career change, or just trying to see your curiosity. And I think that's the thing. You are curious, but you're fearless with it. So I admire that about you. It's one of your characters that has been instilled in you from a little boy. So I admire that. I went from all those words, but I think that was the most, the ones that the word fearless stand out the most.
Okay, thank you. I don't think it's a new one, but it's just kind of funny how we didn't got to a point where I admire, well, I ain't gonna say I admire, but I appreciate and I cherish this relationship we have. Because it's just kind of funny, I understand, or I knew that it was going to get to this, but I also knew that I had to do my part.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of funny being at this point and understanding that this was a side that I know I could have gotten, or I could have gotten the other side where from the saying, you don't reward bad kids. So it's just funny, like even though I'm not a kid no more, I still feel like I'm a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I'm out on the road doing my business, and for some reason it still feel like I'm a kid.
Yeah. Do you hold on to that because you like that feeling?
Probably so, but it's just I can't. I probably can talk it out, but it's just as I process it, it's just as I move in this world, I know that a lot of things surround or my responsibilities comes from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know I have like the option to reach out. I do know I have the option to express or vent a situation.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's almost like, yeah, that's the easiest route, but let me see if I can figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I figure it out and see what's the most comfortablest, still when I'm figuring it out, I still feel like I'm a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of funny, just like being an adult, having a great relationship with your mom. And it's not like a mother-son type of relationship. I can't explain it, but it's just like,
well, it's assurance.
Like
it's like my students. You pretty much know the answer because what works best for you
Right.
And what feels good to you is a good decision.
Right.
But because we have this relationship, you just want my opinion, what you think works. For me, when it's brought to me as a mother, depending on what it is, I'm gonna think of it as, okay, I could tell him the easiest way to do it and be like, yeah, but I always like for you to do your critical thinking. That's why you're so good at it.
Yeah.
It's thrown out there for you to not even know that say, I was like, well, you need to put your thinking cap on, that type of thing, because of the fact that, yeah, our relationship is not like that anymore, because it's not, now it's a lesson to where if I was not here.
Alright. Okay.
And then I say, well, what, have you looked at it any other ways? So I just always want you to, when you do stuff, always, like I say, have plan A, B, and C, and sometimes D and E, right?
Right.
So it doesn't matter, because one of those options is always my option.
Never thought about it like that.
Yeah. And you have to, and young ladies out here, you have to, not gonna be, it's gonna be like this, but, and it's how it works though, you have to allow the man feel like they came up with it. So if you're good at it, then, because not only that, that's not saying that you can't think without a woman, but at the same time, that's how a woman really truly show her support.
Mm-hmm.
And I may not have done that. You're not gonna choose my option, but my option is in there. So that means that you think like me at times, but I want the option to be where you feel like you're most comfortable with. Because my option could be easy.
That makes sense.
So, but yeah, I mean, I know exactly what you're saying, because with me and my mom, it's the same. From me as a child, I remember under her,
mm-hmm.
being my protector, and if I didn't want to go, she made sure, that type of stuff. Becoming a teenager and being I can't stand her, because at one point we was butting heads, but we were, mother and daughter, versus Sean and my mom,
mm-hmm.
their relationship. But then after I moved out, then we became like friends, like sisters. So at this point, our turning point was when I was 25, and she moved in, and we started clubbing together. So our relationship became a friendship at that point. So she became my best friend. So you just for me not to kind of follow with her in certain things that happen, you got to know when to back off too. Yeah. You got to know when, okay, because I understand our closeness, but when you put on another hat and become husband
mm-hmm.
and father, then my role has to be kind of like this in the background. So, because now you're the man of the house.
Makes sense.
And so those decisions that you make is why it's a thing for me, to where I know it's going to come. So now let it make it easier for me when it do come. So I won't be like those other mother-in-laws. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. To where it's like, because I don't understand, like, a lot of people be like, well, I can't stand my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law is great. But, she's not also like some of those mother-in-laws that I hear, just, oh, this my baby, because I'm married to her son.
Mm-hmm.
So, you just got to as I tell you, each step in life is a lesson. And when you get to that age, you start to understand these things in our talks and where I'm coming from. And then you be like, oh, when you hit it and you thinking, you like, dang, let me call my mom. Hey, you remember? So now we talk about all those, and it's funny to me because now I'm just happy that you understand where I was coming from. Not because it was because our mama and I said it. It's because it was a lesson behind it. And it's just easier for you to take, and again, when we talked about your kids, it's easier for you to take the good and the bad that you learned from me and your dad, and then start incorporating that in my future grandkids, and
Yeah.
and that's how it'll be, So I like it. I love it. It's great. It's good when you have that, and that's the reason why we did started this podcast, because you got the 20-year gap,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got my era, you got your era, and then what's to come. So, I just see the podcast growing, with the grandbabies being on the table or wherever,
Yeah.
even if it's virtual or however we're going to decide to do, because it's going to change. But one thing I don't want to change is changing us doing these, and we just adding and we building and growing our family tree.
Right. Yeah, no, I know I'm dedicated to not putting this on the back burner.
Right.
Because I know, like, regardless of what it is, gotta find the time just to make it. It ain't nothing but a drive.
Right.
Or just a little going out your way for a couple of hours.
Absolutely. We get our, people give jobs 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You give TV shows an hour of your time or 30 minutes. You give your phones, I know telling how long. But I try when I get my phone and it says, hey, you have such and such and you were down such and such. How can I get this down even more?
Mm-hmm.
That is just like a little goal, and I've always done it. I think it's because I'm competitive and our curiosity of things. So I'm gonna try to beat what my phone always try to do. It's silly when you say it out loud, but then when you beat it, it's so much rewarding to yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what you do in certain things. Now you just like I say, you're fearless with it, because I honestly believe that I would have been the same way if I had all the support that you had growing up.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
With me, I'm pretty much had to get out there, grow up fast, and start learning things by trial and error. You wanted to learn trial and error, but in some things you do. But if, knowing it could be easier, you don't never need to reinvent the wheel. And that's another thing. I know that things change, but some things remain the same. The only thing changes is the world, but the situation never changes. The outcome never will change. Does that make sense? So, but yeah, that was long-winded. We always go admire stuff long-winded, but I hope y'all appreciate all that, because I guess it shows y'all the connections that we have, and I hope that you guys have the same connection. So let's get into it. Last month
we was talking about, do I want to share what I was doing? So
yes,
what I ended up doing was I ended up leaving JB Hunt. I left JB Hunt to go work for a cousin. We was going to go try out hauling sand, and first it was Streetport, and insurance wasn't coming out right, so we ended up getting up under somebody else out of East Texas, which is near San Antonio and Houston. So came out there. The first week, Wells was pretty down. Just running one load a day was time for payday. All of that started being a little situation. But anyway, let me take y'all back. We thought when I quit JB Hunt, I thought I was gonna work immediately, like the next week. But something wasn't sounding right with when it came time to insurance. So that whole prior week, we started looking for other places for what can be the best options for hauling sand. And it was still pretty much like we might consider this insurance, this high insurance, but we got to really figure out what it really is first. So that took a week to finally process what was going on. And after just communication, it dawned on Gary that she had a new driver that never driven before. So that's why her insurance spiked up. And that's what she was asking per month. So that's how much they was paying insurance per month for just one driver. And just to add, miles is going to be $4,000 too. So it just didn't make sense. You get $8,000 worth of insurance, but I have experience, I have safety stuff.
Right.
So it,
way more experience.
So it was just like, okay, that's not making sense. And then prior to that next week, we ended up finding somebody, but we was waiting for things to get finalized. So while things was getting finalized, it was slowly prepping for me to head out there to San Antonio. So once that finally got through, about 2 weeks in, 2 weeks and a half in, we finally got the confirmation to head out there and started through that. And now I've been on the road for 3 weeks, tried it, and I realized how easy it is. It's been through some up and downs, but just the job itself is pretty easy. It's not complicated at all. It's more so like I'm reading country road, farm road signs.
Yeah.
So it's like that out there in Texas. Getting on dirt roads, working in the oil field. It's kind of dope to see. But overall, it's kind of even dope to go to like the sand mine and see how that operates and stuff like that. But overall, it's been a pretty good experience.
Yeah.
Really can't complain.
It's always good to get into something new and different, you know, and to see how things work. You know what I'm saying? I've always wanted to, like when I travel, and you know, you see the because we're in the South, y'all. So if we got some Northerners listening to us or whatever, we're in the South. So sometimes when I drive and I see the cotton fields and the rice fields, you know, it's just amazing to look. And I'm gonna take some of y'all way back, and the ones that are with me, and y'all probably know this as well. PBS, that station. Your granny loves that station. But growing up, that's an educational station.
It is.
It tells you about stuff, and so some of the conversations me and Mom have, she be talking about what she learned, which is funny because she didn't get it, but I remember taking y'all to the library to, you know, kind of get some of those instilled in you. But yeah, that's dope. I like that. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it because that was one of my things that I was concerned about. How was this going to be? You know, and because, you know, you and Lil Gary's partner up, which is good, and it just gives you a lesson. Something that I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
So, I've been saying for a couple of months or so, you know, I'm not gonna say nothing, but I can share this what I've been doing, and I'm still working, and hopefully something come through. But I do have a good connection. It's a guy that reached out to me and my husband and our company with, you know, of course, it's called Better Than Amazing Hauling, and we have a dump truck, so this guy 2 years ago. It's been 2 years now. So we got the truck. Our anniversary day was the Halloween. We started working like the first.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know that.
Yeah. So super excited. And he's been working with, he reached out to us for a job. It was out of state. And we were fairly new. Well, we were new. Didn't understand, and you know, we do. At one point, we had our like DOT and MC, but we only been working in state, so we didn't need that. We just thought we needed it for insurance purposes. But we can always get it back if we ever want to, you know, cross the state. But he's been really helpful. I've seen some bids on Arkansas DOT, which is Department of Transportation. And so he's supposed to be looking at them and stuff. This is the last quarter of the year, so I am very optimistic about some things gonna start coming, because these jobs and stuff are, it's gonna be the infrastructure, and all the money that they're pouring into the states for this is gonna be
Major.
amazing. Yeah. And up to, you know, from here up to like 2025, 2026. So that's some good money.
Mm-hmm.
That and you know, with any business that, you know, you start, you got that 1 to 5 year growth span. But even when you just net profit something, your first full year is good. So our first full year was good. Like I said, 6 figures. This one we may make. So I'm gonna do the books tomorrow to see what I was gonna be. But anyway, long story short, I have been in books and books and books and reading and all of this stuff. So what we're working on now is trying to get our contractor's license.
Okay.
So I got the book for us to study. So Joe is about to do that. So once we get this contractor license, it's not a big contractor license.
Mm-hmm.
Pappy came by 2 weeks ago, and I spoke with him, and he gave me a contact of the guy that's over the contractor license place right in North Little Rock. I didn't even know. Went, got the book, and he gave me so much information. So you have to take 2 parts. Everyone has to take this big little part, and then it's broken up like sections. And so we just need the demo. So we got the demo part. That is only just to get those city contracts. So, and I say demo is because when they put those bids out for knocking down houses, that's what we need it for.
Mm-hmm.
So we got our contact people for the yard, you know, to do the yard and the excavating. So also we're working on another guys. I need to call him too. I think I'll call him after this to see, you know, if he's at home, to get him a price quote or whatever. He has about 3 acres of land and needed to be cleared. Called the landfill. So, you know, I'm doing all this homework that you give, and how much do you charge per ton to, you know, dump in the landfill and all this. So, the only thing that I've learned something new that I didn't know, that they don't accept tires. So you have to take your tires to another place. And then the girl told me, hey, you can take 4 tires per month, per person, once a month. So if it's like 8 tires, then you can get 4, and then I can have the 4, and we can come in together without, they have to be off the rim, and then it is free. After that, I think it's like $3 per tire or something like that. So all of that was interesting.
Is that dropping off at the landfill?
Well, they are, and check this out. The tire place is over here by the airport. It's a place right by the airport. She say some Bond Road or something like that. So it's close to us. But the land, the guy The landfill that I think we're gonna use is the Central Arkansas landfill, and they do like $36 per ton.
Hmm.
And
Just a drop off.
yeah, like waste stuff, like what would you call it? What do they call it? Like construction and debris, trash type of stuff. Yeah. So that's what. And so we're looking into that. You know.
Pretty cool.
So I'm gonna give him a price and see what he say about this price that we're gonna charge him. Because if he does the price with that, then you know, the calculation that we know how many tons the dump truck hold and all that, so we'll know how much will be out of our pocket and then what our profit will be after that.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
Calculating all that.
I swear it is, but it is like But yeah, I just. Again, having to work in between that.
Kind of weighing on you a little bit.
Oh, a lot. So, that's Joe said all the time. I can't wait till you get off. I said, me either. So, the goal, of course, you know, is another dump truck. So, I got another avenue where I need to call and see, because that second one would definitely, you know,
Yeah.
put me out there.
See, so far, my whole goal has been whoever get an automatic first, I'm gonna
Right.
help build first. So now what's going on with partnership with Jim and Gary, help Gary go get more trucks in for him, help Jim help with safety and stuff up under there. So I'll be the kind of like helping out, checking out to see if everybody doing good what they're supposed to do, just checking in. Then if I'm driving here, it'll be like a work until you need me type of thing.
Yeah, for him.
No, for you.
Oh yeah.
So
And-
it's like, so if y'all get it, so let's just say if
we're
y'all
gonna-
did it.
Right.
Let's just say if y'all didn't have somebody automatic.
Yeah.
Automatic.
Yeah.
And y'all needed somebody in there automatic. I mean, soon, then I can do it. Like, no problem.
I think what, and you know, while you were saying it, and this is how I was telling Joe, because his thing is, you know, we got to pay you for your experience and everything. It's kind of like, you know, your worth.
Yeah.
So our second truck may not be that automatic, but our third might be, because I know you doing this with Gary would give us time, you know.
Yeah.
But that second one definitely is gonna retire me.
Yeah.
So with that second one, we can pretty much maneuver that employee based on whatever the percentage, because after that, you know, a week check is my monthly. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll just have to what I'm working on now with the insurance and all that, because you know the new enrollment and stuff is coming and stuff. Looking at all of that and then knowing, okay, this is what it's going to cost us our insurance wise, because all of those expenses are going to be in there along with the house and everything else. But at the same time, with these bids and stuff, it's a whole nother ball game, right? So I'm just basing it off of him. So